Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota 2 Asia Championships, and, well, this is the Asia Qualifier. We've got two teams on opposite ends of the spectrum in this one. On the one side, you have CSW. It's been an abysmal showing from them. No other way to put it. Can't really bullshit you. They're 1-13. Not good. Not good for any of the SEA teams. All of them towards the very bottom of the group. Mineski now slightly ahead of Team DK, but they occupy 6 of the bottom 7 slots. And, well, on the other side, you've got Big God, or Big Good. You've got the All-Star, or the star-studded All-Star roster here. Lots of big names, and decent results. They're in the mix right now. They sit at 11-9. On the outside looking in, if the group stage ended this moment, they would not qualify, even as a wildcard team, but they have a chance to turn this one around. So we'll see if they can do it. They're going to work towards it right now. Of course, I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and I am joined here by nobody. That's right. This is a solo cast, folks. It's 6:30 a.m. in LA. The rest of the crew is getting ready to ship off to Starladder. God, Zayori, Kato Guy, he's currently back in New York, but he'll be joining them. And, of course, Merleezy. They'll all be shipping out, taking the long journey. I will not be going to this Starladder, but hopefully we'll be back for future ones. I'll be holding down the fort here and bringing you guys through the wee hours of the Dota 2 Asia Championship Asia qualifiers. Man, that's a mouthful. And oh, that said, anyway, CSW, this is game 1 of a best of 2. They had the second pick. So BG go for the first overall pick, Ancient Apparition. I want to point out they banned Axe. Pretty interesting stuff there. The CSW reply with this Batrider Venge. So they take one of the best supports in the pool, also a potential counter to the Lasso. And BG go for the Burning Morphling. So they grab it early. AA Morphling, obvious synergy. That's pretty straightforward there. Good pick-off potential on the map. And really synergizes nicely with that Morphling Ethereal Blade build. Second phase, it's the team fight controllers that CSW want to ban. They removed the ROTK Tide Hunter here, as well as the Shao 8 Brewmaster, the big, beefy specialists, and just creating havoc in the clashes. And as for BG, they're going to ban out some carries. So they removed the Lycan, the Anti-Mage. Their draft did not really have great solutions for either. Morphling takes a while to come online. Lycan likes to end the game early, and also just applies pressure much sooner. And Anti-Mage, they did not have the best heroes to gank him. And generally, although the Morph versus AM matchup can go either way, AM normally tends to prevail if it goes late, just because AM just farms faster. So he hits his 6-slotted timing sooner because of the Battle Fury and just the nature of the hero. Whereas the Morphling farms quickly. You can replicate the Anti-Mage, so it's not awful, but it's just a little bit easier to execute the Anti-Mage and if it goes late in general. So anyway, they ban it out. And now we see something different, something spicy here. It's going to be first the Jakiro from CSW, and then BG reply with a Rubik. Good Rubik game, obviously. Lift nice against the Batrider initiation, and then CSW. They bust out an unexpected hero. It's Mizyo Dragon Knight. The only real change to this hero is that now at level 3, the Elder Dragon form still has Corrosive Breath, so he pushes even in Frost Dragon form. It's actually pretty crazy how much that hero's been buffed. Slowly, but he's continued to receive buffs. The main change, I guess, has been the first change was the range stun. When he's in range form, it's not a. It used to be that you had to be right next to them. Now it's not. Then the level 2 ultimate maintains the Corrosive Breath, and now the level 3 ultimate does. BG go for a Doom. So a very strong late game lineup now. 2 of the best late game supports for Big and Ancient Apparition. Global pickoff from the Morphling. The GG button for the team fights from the Doom.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So now one more ban to go. CSW, let's see. What do they need to ban here? RTK's Doom has been picked. They need to ban a mid. I guess Burning could dual lane, but it'll still be a core of some
Dire
kind.
team
Maybe we see this Morphling H Apparition dual lane. Probably not, though. Generally the Morphlings have been going to the safe lane. These are fairly level-dependent supports. So, Broodmother removed by BG. They're worried about the push strat from CSW. Venge, Jakiro, Dragon Knight. It's a heavy pushing composition. Not all in, by any means, but pretty heavy. And you do look at this BG draft and say, they don't have the best D-push until they get their levels. Oh, they're going to go for it, man. Lone Druid now snagged. All right, I'm excited for this. It is interesting to see them draft a push strat against an Ancient Apparition, and I think if you're BG now, you need something with a little bit of wave clear. So, Puck might be an okay choice. What else have they been running? For Shao 8 type heroes, Beastmaster wouldn't be too terrible. Although I think he has trouble actually fighting into that big beefy lineup. Let's see, other Shao 8 heroes. Got to bring up my heroes list real quick. Clockwork, Alchemist, that's pretty good. So they get the Acid Spray. Looks to be the core Alch for Shao 8. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Acid Spray, nice versus the CSW draft. Now you're pushing into a lot. Acid Spray, Fade Bolt, potentially stealing the Breathe Fire or any of Jakiro's spells, not to mention the Ice Blast. So I think BG have a decent lineup to hold, but whether or not they can, we'll have to wait and see. This patch, there have been a few changes that make pushing potentially stronger, although we don't see pushing as a strategy nearly as much. Pipe has a cheaper recipe cost. The duration of the barrier has been increased from 10 to 12. Dragon Knight received that slight buff I mentioned. Lone Druid has received quite a few improvements. Well, you can debate if they're improvements. The Battle Cry doing a lot more, but for a shorter amount of time with a longer cooldown, and then the Spirit Bear return not having a cast time. So nothing earth-shattering here, but just some nice little changes to these heroes. And well, here we go. We're gonna have a quick pause as we get underway. I call it a quick pause. That's just me being optimistic. And with that, we introduce our teams, guys. It was a quick one. See? See? We're not beyond the schedule. Knock on wood. Alright, CSW. You've got Extinct. He has replaced Risk, who is apparently not retired. No more Aussie. Extinct, formerly of Titan fame, of course. He'll be on the Vengeful Spirit support. Musica, your Lone Druid. Godot, going to be playing the Jakiro. Chains on the Dragon Knight. And that does leave Tootie as the offlane Bat Rider. Already trotting down. Has the Observer Ward that he'll probably drop down momentarily. And well, this team, 1-13, looking just to put some wins and kind of salvage their pride at this point. You've got the big gods facing up against them. Shao 8 playing the Alchemist. They're going to scout for the early Roshan. They are up against Liquid Fire, Venge minus armor, Bear to tank. Definitely could have happened. Shao 8 Elk. Lanham playing the Rubik. Ice. Not to be confused with Icy. Not to be confused with Ice. This is Ice. And she'll be handling the Ancient Apparition. Burning will take up the reins of the Morphling, and that does leave ROTK. Always a fun one to cast on the offlane duo. So looking at the lanes now, what are we going to see? Dragon Knight mid, rushing the bottle. He will be laning against Shao 8 on the Alk, so should mostly just be a farm trade lane. Smoke is picked up on Lanham. Enemy supports do not have a smoke. So it looks like CSW aren't interested in ganking. They probably look more just to get their levels on their supports and then go for an early push, which they certainly can do. So I think we may see that early rotation, though, from this Rubik Ancient Apparition duo. They plop down an Observer Ward in the lane. They may try to go for the Bat Rider first. There's a lot of kill potential here, even at level 1, thanks to Chilling Touch, assuming that Ice wants to skill it. And as for the offlane Doom, he'll be up against the Lone Druid Jakiro. Now, the one thing with Lone Druid that we haven't gotten to appreciate much as of late is it's just how annoying he is to lane against. 1v1 lane dominator beats most heroes straight up, outside of like, that pesky Razor, perhaps. Or at least holds his own in general. So the supports don't have to spend too much time off in the jungle, especially once he gets level 5. Musica has a lot of kill potential here. So look at the two off lanes. The off lane Bat Rider, I think there's a ton of kill potential for BG if they get the lift, and with boots first on Rubik, it's definitely possible. I would say less so for CSW. Venge is a good initiator, but doesn't have the boots up. Doom does, so it'll be tough to close the gap with him, and running the Lone Druid tri-lane unless they get a lucky entangle. So mid lane will just be a trade. 8-1 on your Alchemist, Shao 8. 6-0 on Chains. Of course, CSW are playing with a bit of delay, especially on the players who are actually in Australia. But so it goes. The life and times of an Australian player. At this point, I guess they must feel weird if they don't have lag. So let's just say it's actually an advantage, because it's what they're used to, right? Trying to zone out this Bat Rider a bit. Looking at the jungle right now, nothing's been stacked yet for him. He's actually being held out of the lane quite nicely. He's only level 1. The Doom's hits level 2, getting a lot more. RTK now going for a bit of a pull. And he will pop the Scorched Earth just to ensure his safety, his safe retreat. Yeah, pulls the Dark Troll Warlord back, is going to devour it. And now Bat Rider, managing to catch up. He hits 2 as well, but RTK still a few creeps ahead. And it looks like Bat's just going to go jungle. And as soon as the Bat's gone, that's where these supports may look to roam. Lanham is sitting mid with the smoke right now. They can bring in the Ancient Apparition as well, and you gank the Alchemist lane, that's a pretty easy kill. He's got the reliable setup, Unstable Concoction. I think they should go for something fairly soon. They even have a lane ward, so they know the Bat's not in the neighborhood. As you can see, Radiant Vision, he's nowhere to be found. The push will begin early. Lanham already here to try and slow it down. He has the level 1 Fade Bolt. They're not really going to be able to stop the tier 1 from dropping. They can stall it a little bit, but it's more about not letting this push go to the tier 2. Which, I think, if necessary, you just bring in the Alchemist for that. He can rotate over. If he does rotate, though, it means the Dragon Knight may be able to pressure the tier 1 mid. So basically, that's the issue here for BG. Is just got to carefully choose your rotations wisely, limit the damage to towers, and you have to make choices. You can't defend every tower this game. You're going to lose at least a handful unless they start just wrecking CSW with smoke ganks. But we haven't seen a single one yet. Ice Ice now going for the pull through, getting her levels. Hits level 2, about to hit 3. Pretty good progression there, as the Rubik is also level 3. And getting levels on these supports is crucial. The Ice Blast and Fade Bolt are 2 of their best D-push spells, so we'll probably see some Ancient stacking continue. Lanham, yeah, now goes for the triple stack. And this is part and parcel with the solo mid-alch. You stack the Ancients. Normally, we've seen Super goes for the max acid spray by level 7. It seems Shao 8 will do it a little bit differently. But same idea. You just farm these Ancients up, clear the stack, get your mech or Blink Dagger, BKB, whatever the case may be. And they will rotate Shao 8. Still leaving the Rubik mid. And just try to limit the bleeding. Stem the tides. As best you can.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They will lose their tower. There's a haste turn up on Shao 8, so no real kill potential here for CSW. As 2D will now make the long journey around. RTK playing with fire a bit here. He's going to devour creep. Has the Alpha Wolf out. So he's just continuing to jungle, but BG making slightly better use of the lanes overall, I would say, is they are making sure to get levels up on their supports, both of them. Well, level 3 Ancient Apparition, already the level 4 Rubik, and they are also stacking the Ancients. So just a bit more efficient for now. You see a CSW with the gold lead because they got the tower, but experience going the way of BG. Burning's free farming. Alk is basically free farming. Everything fairly formulaic thus far. We want some blood. Come on, boys. Give us some action. There's a smoke now. Picked up by Godot. Phase boots online for Shao 8. And Lanham just chilling mid, continuing to Fade Bolt, slow down the push, and get his levels up. Burning is free farming. I'm a little surprised they haven't gone for any smokes yet, but at the same time, I guess they're getting good levels on the supports through these dual lanes. Oh, Shao 8. Lanham is just going to engage now onto Tootie. He's got the lift pointed back towards where the cold feet will proc, and now they continue to lay in. Oh, can they get the kill with the zap? Nice use of the stick there. Xiao 8 will stun himself. But not... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is trouble. They're smoked. He's hasted. He's going to run back into the lane. If they can get off that Dragon Knight stun, even the Venge stun, this should be enough to get a kill. But Xiao 8 starts to sense something's up. Dragon Knight ult online. Can he get the stun off quickly? He will. And now Xiao 8 in trouble. They can chain stun this with an Ice Path. And the haste rune will end. First blood is your Directorate.
That was but the first taste of revenge.
Now the fight gonna break out mid. Chain's trying to go for the push, but Doom is here to hold them off. And well, the first blood, Directorate biting the dust, burning, getting a lot of space here though in the mid lane. And for an alchemist, a death like that's not a particularly big deal. He will have Grievel's Greed later on to catch up. He's got the Ancient stack that's available to be farmed fairly soon, and he'll have Burning getting him some tower gold. Pushing in this bottom lane, nobody really on the CSW draft excels at killing Morphling. That is going to be a big problem for them. If they don't take towers and Burning's free farming, they really can't count on bringing him down. They have no Soul Catcher, no Mana Burn to prevent him from Strength Morphing, no Doom or Instant Silences. They have a lot of stuns, but that's what Morphling excels at beating. If you just chain stun him, he just keeps him Strength Morphing, and they don't have Burst to kill him through it. Extinct will swing around now. He rotates in on the mid lane. He goes back to bottom. The ping's following him everywhere he roams. Now he's going to head into Burning. No, now he's going to go back. This guy's actually trying to give me a case of the spins. They are going to look to steal a nice stack here, though. This is a big stack to grab. If Burning can wave it, though, he'll end up getting everything. No, he does. He gets all 3 big creeps. Now they stun him. They are going to commit, but that's not an easy kill. They lift up Extinct. They drop him down. He's going to fall, and Tootie now on the run. Big BG going aggressive here. Getting onto Godot. Alk stun cooling down in 5 seconds. Dragon Knight stun is available, but they don't really want to commit too much on the Alk because he's still in ult form. He's tanking. He's got stick charges. Now turning around. Burning's going to re-engage. Waveform over the top. Gets the first kill. He's looking for chains as well. He's going to find this one too. Oh, it's a travesty. They wanted those neutrals. They tried to jack the stacks, and they pay the price. BG just... I think the big thing to keep an eye on here is just the tower count. CSW, they've only taken a tier 1 top. Mid tier 1 still stands. Bottom tier 1 still stands. Not that they have to feel like they're out of the game already, but you definitely should look to have a gold lead in this type of game. You know at some point Burning will start taking towers. That's just inevitable. When you go for the 4 or 5 man group up and push, Burning is going to get some. So if you're trailing in gold and they don't have their towers yet and you already have taken one, then it's only going to get worse when they start. Now the Ancient stack's being farmed by Xiao 8. He's got the level 4 Acid Spray, and even with all that extra HP, the Golem's still melting down. This is really going to help line Xiao 8's pockets. And as mentioned, he'll go for the standard mech build. And Doom will pick up his Midas. This is gearing up to be a pretty good mid-game for BG. They've weathered the storm. They almost have the Ice Blast. Lanham already has his level 6 with the Stolen Ice Path currently. They get the Ice Blast here, and it gets actually very difficult to push into this lineup.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Chains caught up by an Ice Path, and Xiao 8 gonna walk in. He's got the stun ready. Doom used on the Dragon Knight as they chase him out. RTK joining with Burning, and they'll end up getting a kill there. Now looking for a bit more. Tootie and Godot on the way out. The chase is there. Ice Path. They connect with the blast as well. Ice, Ice, Ice Blast, Ice Path. All the ices. Delicious. They get the kill. And CSW are actually getting pushed. This is the exact opposite of how this game should be scripted. Xiao 8, he's got his own storyline in mind. Burning Lincoln Sphere inbound. Almost has the Perseverance up. Leader in net worth. Almost keeping up in CS pretty closely with the Lone Druid. And they've got gigantic stacks over here to farm. Oh, this is trouble. Giving Burning this additional gold is really going to hurt them. He will work together with RTK. RTK closing in on, I imagine it'll be the Blink Dagger pickup for him. Everything just so formulaic and straightforward right now for BG. And the farming continues. There's just not much of a sense of urgency here for CSW. I think you need to have one this game, though. You can't really deal with split push that well because it's a Morphling. You have, yeah, you've got a Bat Rider, decent. They're building very mid-game items. Chains going out for drums, no Dominator, no Midas. Actually, a double smoke pop here from CSW. Bit of a misclick, but... yeah, let's see. What does Music have gone for on his bear? He's saving up for Relic, it looks like. Up to 3,200 gold, so not completely all in, but end of the day, the Lone Druid Bear is just not going to outcarry a Morphling. And certainly not with the backup of a Doom and Alchemist. They are moving, though, as a pack of 4 through the Radiant Woods. Striking a course towards the mid lane. But retreating is Ice, 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 RTK, and Xiao 8. They all... did I say Ice, Ice, Ice? I meant Ice, Ice. Jeez. It's hard to keep them straight, even when you know they're different people. Lasso will find Ice Ice. Tootie gonna reel her back in, and they followed up with the chain stun. So they will get this Ancient Apparition kill, but in the meantime, Burning's got all the space in the world. He's gonna take a tier 1 top lane. And it should fall here momentarily. Glyph now popped. Lanham heading to the south. He gets swapped back in into Avenge stun. Wave of Terror pulling down. They won't need it, though. They'll get the Lanham kill as well. And yeah, Mech's already out for Xiao 8. This is good kills, but they got to transition these quickly into towers. Ice Blast is going to cool down. Ice Ice immediately TP's in. Glyph is ready. This is not good enough for CSW, even getting those 2 kills. Ice Blast comes out. It's going to connect on 2. Extinct will shatter. Potentially others will as well. Xiao 8 Poppy is Mech. He's focused. He will end up falling, but he's baited Tootie into a corner here as they end up losing again a support. Another hero, I should say. The Alchemist going down. Musica, though, doomed and being chased out. Unless there's a root right now, the wave will end him. Musica down for the count. Chains could well be next. Tootie also in danger. Burning, going to start getting out of control. Throws out the Adaptive Strike. Waveform in 1 second. He wants that last hit. He's already got his Lincoln Sphere. 15-minute Lincolns. Oh, this is looking more and more out of reach for CSW by the minute. 6k gold lead. 5k experience lead. Itemized entirely to win the game in the first 25-30 minutes, aside from the Relic. Well, if he's going for it. He doesn't even have his Relic yet. Sheesh. This is just brutal. You know, there was a time recently when CSW was looking like they might be the best team in SEA, or certainly on the short list. They weren't actually invited to the qualifiers. They campaigned for a spot. The community supported them, and I think rightfully so. They should have had one, but they have just not been able to get much done with this spot, and the struggle, it's real. It continues. It's an even tower score. I mean, that really tells the story of the game. Already a plate mail up on Xiao 8. Now he's going to work on that Shivas, or more likely the Assault Cuirass. Either way, just to become as tanky as possible. RTK now up to 2,900 gold. Maybe just rushes straight into the Ags here. push. That's the triple dragon strat. No, he goes Shadow Blade. Ooh. I like it. Goes well with the Alpha Wolf. Bernie waving in. He's now gonna just jump out and see, that's what I mean. Like this is one of those Morphling games where he can just do whatever he wants. There's 4 heroes there. They just kind of watch him wave over the top. For now, it doesn't hurt them that much, but as soon as he gets the E-Blade, then they die. It's a very difficult situation for CSW. And they have to stay grouped up now. With Ancient Apparition on the field, with the Shadowblade, Doom, and with a Morphling to worry about, working probably towards the E-Blade now. If they go off on their own, they just start getting picked off. And it's going to get worse when Lanham gets a Blink Dagger, which I imagine will be his next choice. Up to 1,000 gold, building towards that. CSW caught already just in a very strategically unenviable position. They're going to buy a smoke. But this is... how obvious will the smoke gank be? Top lane well past the river. Mid lane at the river. Bottom lane pushed out a bit. So there may be a bit of an opening here, but it's hardly easy. 2D looks like he wants to work towards the Mask of Madness. Just for that quick initiation. Relic is finally out for Musica. Should have the Radiance before the 20-minute mark. But Death did set him back quite a bit, though. And by the time he gets his Radiance, Xiao 8 probably going to have AC. That's scary. Well, not quite the whole AC, but like 80% of it. And Burning. What's he purchased? Got the Ghost Scepter. Still a ways to go before the E-Blade. But Ghost Scepter, very good this game. You're up against Lone Druid. Having that ethereal form just to get out of the roots is quite nice. It's definitely it's a value item. CSW, most of their damage is physical. They have a decent... well, I wouldn't say most of their damage, but enough of it is physical that being able to block that means you just probably don't die. Mask of Madness now online. CSW just boxed in strategically. You can just kind of tell by the support movements, I feel, more than anything. Extinct is... it's just not easy as far as where he goes. He's getting in position for a potential swap. They will lift up chains. Extinct trying to swap him out to Freedom. He gets it off. We'll end up keeping him alive. And it looks like he should be okay in the end. And now Lanham steals Breathe Fire. There's no pressure right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Morphling at 19 minutes is completely controlling the map. Xiao 8 snags the Hyperstone. AC coming. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Game was hard. RTK with the big Shadow Blade auto attack. Now they wave in over the top. The Morphling's gonna arrive here. They throw out the Ice Vortex. They get the kill. A nice takedown on 2D. Lanham closes in on that ever so crucial Blink Dagger. And that's pretty much Assault Cuirass for Xiao 8. Chains will go for a Blink of his own. Blink is very good on Dragon Knight. He has a reliable single target stun, long duration, but it doesn't have the best range. So getting this Blink Dagger means he'll be able to initiate the problem is, like, who do you really kill with this? Rubik has a Blink and is always off the map. Ancient Apparition, Ice, she can just sit as far back as she wants, and the Doom has a Shadow Blade, is normally pretty elusive. Now RTK pick up a Yasha. Oh, he's having some fun with his item selections here, that's for damn sure. CSW. On the smoke, it's a deep smoke as well. Nobody coming to defend bottom lane. BG should know something's up. In fact, they're already shooting on Ice Blast towards the pit. They think there might be a Roshan. CSW, this could be the opening. Ice Blast literally just used, and they're in the pit. If there were ever a time to go, this would be it. They get in together. The pings start coming out from the team. They drop a sentry outside the pit. They don't want to get jumped by the Doom. RTK now going to build towards the Sanj. But BG are already on the smoke. They're heading towards that pit, I think. 10 seconds to go. Roshan already down. They snag the Aegis for the Dragon Knight. Not sure if he's the right Aegis card. I feel like the Lone Druid might be a bit better, but either way, the Clash will break out now. Xiao 8 on the run, he pops the mech. And actually, he's going to turn and fight Chains, who's been doomed. Will end up going down here, it looks like, and he comes back in regular dragon form, trying to fight a bit longer. The Bear pursuing Xiao 8. They might end up even getting the kill. This would be a big one if they can pull it off. He gets entangled. He throws out the long-range lob. The Ice Blast comes through, and oh, in the end, it's Burning who arrives. Looking to do battle with Musica, running low on mana though. Will they get another entangle? Yes, they do. Canceling the TP. Burning, dropping low, but they just can't finish him off. Godot will be next. BG just outlasting CSW. Now they get a long stun from the Ling. And Chains, he'll fall as well. He's lost his Aegis. That's 4 dead and an Aegis down. Essentially a team wipe. Oh my. Disaster strikes. And now the 3 most farmed heroes are all on the side of BG. Burning, about to complete his Ethereal Blade. Doombrainer with the completed Sanjin Yasha. And now Xiao 8 up to another 1,000 gold. CSW. The wheels have just come off at this point. Will we get a root? Oh, there's your root. Nicely done. What a Lone Druid player this Musica is. So good. Shotgun now online. Aghanim's being built by Ice. Lanham already with the completed blink. Just chilling by Xiao 8. Probably wants to go for his BKB next. He's been durable in these fights. I don't know that he needs one, but it just gives him so much insurance and basically makes the Alchemist God. Well, could go for a Blink Dagger if he wants something a little bit more offensive. Against a Radiance, it's slightly tougher to pull that off, but it can be done. They're roaming around with this Replicate and just what you can expect for a good Morphling player. He'll send it with his team. If he feels like he might be able to just find someone to snipe, he can send the Illusion on scouting mission and then just look for shotgun targets. As soon as you identify one, Ice Blast can either follow the Illusion up or the Replicate. You can just jump on that and go for the solo kills, depending on who you're trying to kill. And speaking of which, Extinct has 1100 health. Godot only has 980 though. He is looking like a pretty easy solo kill. The siege begins. Xiao 8 working on the tier 2, and with the AC, this tower will fall quickly. The enemy Lone Druid Musica trying to trade top lane, but it will take him quite a while to bring these building downs in comparison. I think BG, honestly, if they want to, could just continue pushing down mid. There's a blink-in from the Bat Rider. No real follow-up. They're going to play it safe for now, and Musica will get caught out here. It looks like he tries to run out. The Alchemist on the chase. The long-range lob comes through. And then RTK descends. Ice Blast. Oh, it looks like it'll be slightly off the mark. Not even needed, though. Just auto-attack down by RTK. Clean kill. Musica has to be going for plays like that, though. That's not even a misplay. That's just you either go for that split push or BG just go high ground as 5. If they want to. They may not have wanted to do it, but you have to be worried about the possibility. It's the risk that comes with the territory of being in this position, basically. I don't really know how they get out of it, though. If they had like if they'd gone for slightly greedier builds, maybe Dominator or Midas on the DK, or even getting the Midas first on Lone Druid before going into this Radiance, then perhaps they could pull ahead in a farm war, but it's just not going to happen the way this game's going. They're going to continue to fall behind. Now down, oh boy, we haven't looked at that in a while. 16,000 gold. Against a Morphling Doom. Godot gets caught out here by RTK. He's going to use the Scorched Earth and just try to run him down. Ice Blast coming through. Is that a connection? Got him! Nice shot there by Ice, and It looks like they should end up losing the Jakiro. He throws out a dual breath, accepts his fate, ends up dropping, and Tootie gets critted. Blasted by Burning, will fall as well. This game going from bad to worse for CSW. Changes resorted to jungling. This is a beatdown of epic proportions.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They'll siege out this tier 3 tower. BG banging on the front door. The big gods are pretty much in god status now. Burning's impossible to kill. Xiao Weight's also got the Reaver, so essentially impossible to kill as well now. With high armor. They're not even defending. They've got 4 heroes alive. The Bat Rider now just respawning, but this does not bode well for their ability to defend a second, third lane of Rex. Gotta admire CSW's ability to take a licking, but it's a licking they're taking.
Double damage.
That's a Maelstrom Doom. That's a Mjolnir Doom. Oh yeah. RTK is having fun this game. Going for your pure right-click Doom style. That's the most fun way to play the hero, I think. Maybe not as effective as the Ags Refresher Shiva's Guard, but definitely more enjoyable. Jesus, dude. He's so farmed. That's pretty insane. He will get lassoed, RTK will, but backup's inbound. Xiao Weight's here to try and bail him out. He gets thrown up in the air by a Cyclone, but as he drops back down to Earth, reinforcements have arrived. The Doom goes onto Tootie's Jakiro. RTK fights through the pain and continues moving in. On the Tootie. Shotgun's there. Bernie gets the kill. Looking for Morris. Chains his trap. Just gets melted by the Alchemist. Morphling with the triple. And still hunting for that final kill is RTK. Oh, Bat Rider. Tootie able to blink out, but the end times are upon us. BG. They'll go for the jugular here with the top tier 2 or tier 3 push, and CSW just out of steam. Completely outplayed this game. They did not draft anything to deal with Morphling. The Alchemist was allowed to stack Ancients uncontested, and I think most crucially, they just lost a couple too many fights. You run the CSW draft against what you've given BG, you have to get ahead and stay ahead. Once you start falling behind with no answers to the Morphling split push, at best it's a struggle, and at worst it's GG, and that's what it is here. Burning and Xiao Wei gonna work together as a tandem, actually a trio, with Landon by their side to take down the tier 4s. Screw the mega creeps, let's put them out of their misery. And the shotgun, quick kill on the Bat. No mercy from Burning. He's godlike, 11-0-6. It feels like watching Michael Jordan play with high school basketball players right now. It's just, not to say CSW can't compete, but that's just how far ahead the Morphling is. He's just way too big at this point. A different plane of existence as far as farm goes. And the GG will come out. RTK will celebrate with the complete Mjolnir, and CSW. I do like the fact they go for something different with the push strat here, and I think it could have worked, but it required better execution. They'll go back to the drawing board here as Game 2 comes along, but for now, the big gods, they remain in charge. Guys, thank you for watching. I've got one more best of one coming your way, I believe, and after that, one more game, I should say, the second game of this series. And after that, I'll be getting a little bit of rest. The rest of BTS going off to Star Ladder. Season 11 Land Finals coming soon. Thank you for watching MLD. You can follow me on Twitter at LDDota. And we shall return for our final match of the day after this.